Across America, the highways are packed, not with traffic, but with people leaving. From rising housing costs to failing infrastructure and fading job markets, millions of Americans are quietly walking away from entire regions of the country. In fact, nearly half of U.S. counties are now shrinking, and the same 9 states keep showing up at the bottom of every migration report. So what's really going on? Why are once thriving places now emptying out, and what does it mean for America's future? In this video, we're breaking down the 9 states people are fleeing fastest in 2025, and the surprising reasons why nobody wants to live there anymore. Let's dive in. America isn't just on the move, it's in retreat. For years, the story of migration was about people chasing opportunity. But in 2025, the narrative has flipped. Millions of Americans are no longer just moving toward something better, they're moving away from states that are no longer livable, affordable. So what's driving this quiet exodus? Let's start with the obvious: cost of living. Inflation, high interest rates, and surging property taxes have hit hard in many states, especially where wages haven't kept pace. In places like California, Illinois, and New York, families are spending 40–50% of their income just on housing. And that doesn't even include insurance, which has spiked in coastal and wildfire-prone areas, adding thousands more per year to basic living expenses. Then there's the housing market itself. During the post-pandemic boom, many states overbuilt fast, but now demand is cooling, prices are sliding, and entire neighborhoods are sitting half-empty. That leaves homeowners stuck with expensive properties in areas no longer attracting new residents. Think Arizona desert suburbs or struggling Rust Belt towns. 1. California? The collapse of the American dream? California has long symbolized opportunity, tech innovation, and year-round sunshine. But behind the glamour, the state is unraveling for many middle-class families. In 2025, the median home price is over $760,000, 0 cents, with major metro areas like San Jose and Los Angeles pushing well above the $1 million mark. Meanwhile, median household income is only around $84,000, 0 cents, making homeownership all but impossible for most. Add in skyrocketing property taxes, insurance premiums inflated by wildfire risk, and the highest gas prices in the nation, and it's no surprise that over 800,000 people have left the state since 2020. The tech layoffs, rising homelessness, failing public transport, and crumbling school systems have added to the pressure. San Francisco's once vibrant downtown is riddled with vacancies. For many, the Golden State no longer shines. 2. New York, where cost has outpaced culture. New York's population loss is no longer just a city story, it's statewide. Between 2020 and 2024, over 500,000 people left New York, citing affordability, taxes, and quality of life. In 2025, Manhattan condos average over $1,300,000, 0 cents, and even modest homes in boroughs like Brooklyn or Queens are out of reach for working families. Monthly mortgage payments can exceed $4,000, 0 cents, not including sky-high property taxes and maintenance. But it's not just housing. The cost of doing business, weak public services in upstate areas, and increasing crime concerns in parts of NYC have accelerated the departure of both individuals and companies. Cities like Buffalo and Rochester are losing population rapidly, and the state's recovery post-COVID has lagged behind others. 3. Illinois, tax-tired and leaving. Illinois is a state with major infrastructure, iconic cities like Chicago, and rich farmland. Yet it's losing population at one of the fastest rates in the Midwest. Nearly 150,000 residents have moved out since 2020. The biggest culprit? Taxes. Illinois has the second highest property tax rate in the country, averaging 2.27%, and even higher in some counties. Combine that with rising foreclosures, especially in Cook County, aging infrastructure, and a faltering job market, and many middle-class families are opting for cheaper neighboring states. Even Chicago, once a real estate anchor, is seeing condo prices fall and rental demand weaken. Outside the metro, small towns are losing young people to better job prospects elsewhere. 4. Michigan, the return of abandoned cities. In Michigan, the ghosts of the 2008 housing crash are back, literally. Cities like Detroit and Flint are seeing a rise in zombie homes. properties abandoned before the foreclosure process is even complete. As of 2025, Michigan has over 4,000 such homes, leading to entire blocks of empty, overgrown neighborhoods. This is driven by stagnant home values. In Detroit, the average home is still under $80,000, 0 cents. Along with high property taxes, job insecurity in manufacturing, and tough winters that make maintenance expensive. Younger residents are moving out in droves, and between 2020 and 2024, the state lost nearly 40,000 people. With builder pullbacks, aging homes, and crumbling infrastructure, Michigan's housing market looks increasingly fragile. 5. West Virginia. Outmigration on autopilot. West Virginia has been losing population steadily for over a decade, but the pace has accelerated. With few large cities, limited job growth, and an aging population, West Virginia ranks dead last in population growth nationwide. In 2025, several counties have seen double-digit percentage declines, with school closures and hospital consolidations following suit. Many young people leave for college or work and never return. Poor broadband access, low median income, and limited healthcare access have made life difficult in rural areas. Even though housing is affordable on paper, the lack of opportunity is pushing residents toward faster-growing states in the South and West. 6. Louisiana. Sinking financially and literally. Environmental risk is the new economic deal-breaker in Louisiana. Rising sea levels, hurricanes, and FEMA flood zone reclassifications have driven insurance premiums sky-high, with some homeowners in coastal areas paying $9,000, 0 cents, $12,000, 0 cents annually just to stay insured. That's made homes near New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and the Gulf Coast far less attractive, especially as major insurers pull out of the region entirely. The economy, heavily reliant on oil and gas, is also struggling to diversify. Overdevelopment in high-risk zones has left vacant neighborhoods, and as job seekers leave for better opportunities, Louisiana is becoming a cautionary tale of climate and cost colliding. 7. Alaska. Isolation has its limits. Alaska offers natural beauty, a low population density, and oil wealth. But that's no longer enough. Alaska's population has declined for 4 consecutive years. Remote communities are struggling to retain residents due to harsh winters, high cost of imported goods, and limited access to healthcare and education. Job growth is stagnant, and younger Alaskans are increasingly moving to the lower 48 for better prospects. Even federal relocation bonuses haven't reversed the trend. For many, the state now feels too disconnected, both economically and geographically. 8. Pennsylvania. The silent decline. Pennsylvania's population loss is less dramatic but more widespread. Outside of Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, rural and post-industrial areas are shrinking fast. Aging infrastructure, limited economic mobility, and declining industries like coal and heavy manufacturing are all taking their toll. School districts are consolidating due to low enrollment, and hospital closures are forcing residents to drive hours for care. Cities like Erie, Scranton, and Wilkes-Barre are seeing home prices drop as demand vanishes. With younger residents leaving and fewer families moving in, the state faces a slow-motion demographic reversal. 9. Oregon. From migration magnet to outflow zone. Oregon was once one of the top relocation states for Californians, but that trend is now in reverse. Portland, once hailed for livability, is facing increasing homelessness, housing shortages, and safety concerns. Crime rates have risen in some neighborhoods, and a lack of affordable housing is pricing out even long-term residents. Combine that with growing wildfire risks, limited water access in parts of southern Oregon, and political polarization, and people are choosing to leave. Real estate in once hot markets like Bend and Eugene is cooling fast. Oregon's population growth has not only stalled, it's reversed in many counties, signaling a major shift in perception and desirability. Each of these 9 states faces a different set of problems, from high taxes to environmental disasters to sheer lack of opportunity. But the result is the same. Residents are leaving, businesses are following, and neighborhoods are beginning to hollow out. While these states still hold beauty, culture, and history, many Americans are voting with their feet, searching for affordability, safety, and a better quality of life elsewhere. The mass migration we're witnessing isn't just about cheaper homes or better weather, it's a fundamental reshaping of America's population, economy, and identity. The 9 states people are leaving aren't just losing residents, they're losing tax bases, skilled labor, and long-term stability. With fewer people come smaller school districts, less federal funding, and weaker local economies. In some areas, what begins as a housing slump quickly turns into a community-wide decline. Meanwhile, the states gaining population are feeling the heat, literally. Cities like Phoenix, Austin, and Miami are now struggling with overcrowded schools, rising rents, traffic congestion, and environmental pressures of their own. Growth can be a double-edged sword. For policymakers, this is the wake-up call. Fix affordability, invest in infrastructure, and create reasons for people to stay, or risk long-term decline. And for travelers, digital nomads, and people considering a move, the map of opportunity is changing fast. States that once seemed flyover are becoming magnets, while iconic regions are losing their edge. So before you decide where to go next, ask yourself, are you heading somewhere people are running to or fleeing from? The future of America isn't just being built, it's being relocated.